guys, welcome to the newest episode of The Bearded Gamer Show. Now, as always, I'm your host, The Bearded Gamer, Chris Arnone. Let's get straight into an oldie but a goodie with good news, bad news. So first up is some good news this week. Now, a lot of people have been playing Diablo III, myself included, and if you've beaten the game, you've beaten the final boss, you notice kind of nothing else happens. Congratulations, you beat Diablo. Now start over on a harder difficulty. I mean, really, that's what you get. That's not much of an end game content. It's really sort of all about the item hunt. The never-ending quest for better crap is what I've kind of always nicknamed the Diablo games. And of course, PvP is on its way and it's supposed to be in patch 1.1 whenever that eventually gets here. And that'll add something. And then of course there is the item hunt, which there's that. But recently, even Bashiok, big community manager over at at Battle.net, has said that PvP will help, but item hunting just isn't enough for long-term sustainability. This is a game that people want to keep playing for months on end, years on end, and the item hunt and PvP alone aren't enough. So I say this is good news because obviously Blizzard is recognizing this. They're listening to their fans, which means they're probably working towards some sort of a solution. I mean, we've seen them do that with every kind of hot fix and patch that's come out so far. They're listening to what we have to say and trying to make the game better. So it's good stuff. Some bad news. Respawn Entertainment. Now, these are the guys, Jason West, Vince Zampella, the guys behind Infinity Ward. They have a huge lawsuit that ended up settled. We've been waiting to see what Respawn Entertainment is going to make. We know it's some sort of a sci-fi title, very likely a shooter. They're not going to be showing anything at Gamescom. Now, they already didn't show anything at E3. Now, they're not showing anything at Gamescom. I keep wondering, when are these guys actually going to make a game or announce a game? We've been waiting for this thing for years. Where the crap is it? So that's my bad news on that one. I'm waiting with everyone else to see what Respawn is finally going to spit out at us that maybe will challenge Call of Duty. We'll have to see what it is. Some good news. There is a Final Fantasy VII is being re-released for PC. Now hold your horses. This is not an HD remake. Don't go jumping over that shark anytime soon. It's just being re-released, and it's going to have a few cool bonus features. It's going to have some stat boosting abilities, achievements for the first time, and cloud saving. So it's just it's a re-release. It's not any sort of revamping or anything like that. I was talking, I think last week, about them not making a remake until they can make a better game than Final Fantasy VII. But they are doing a re-release, and I tell you what, achievements in Final Fantasy VII, I think I found a new reason to play through it again. 15 years later now? Wow, I was just in high school when that happened. Okay, that dates me a little bit. Let's move on to the next one. Some more good news. Mojang's, my apologies. Mojang's CCG Scrolls. This is the same company behind Minecraft, making the CCG Scrolls. They won the lawsuit with Bethesda saying, yes, they can use the word Scrolls as their name, has gone into alpha. Now, it's a very closed alpha. There are a lucky few who managed to actually get an invite to it, but there is no longer a way to sign up for the alpha invite. So if you got in, you got in. Good for you. The rest of us, waiting out in the cold until that open beta finally comes by. But, if you're in the alpha, man, why don't you lay something down in the comments right here. Let us know what it's like. How is it? How does it compare with other CCG games? How does it compare with Minecraft? Anything you might know about it. If you got a friend who has it, anybody who, 6 degrees of separation from this game, let us know some information about how it's going. All right, that does it for the news. Let's get into one I haven't done in a while with a hardware fetish. So recently, my friends at Razer sent me one of their newest pieces of hardware. It's called the Razer Taipan. Maybe I mispronounced that a little bit. It's a venomous snake. All their products are named after predators. And this is a brand new gaming mouse. Now, it's been designed and aimed at the pro gamer. And so I got my hands on it, took it out, played with it a little bit. Now, I'm not going to show it here because it's black and green, and that's a green screen. So if I showed it to you here, part of it would be invisible. But I have it. It's in my possession. Okay? So I did get to play with this thing a little bit, and in fact, you're going to see some pictures that I took myself using it. Now, first off, this thing is like oh my god fast. This is by far and away the most responsive mouse I've ever put my hands on. It has an 8200 DPI 4G dual sensor. This thing is crazy. I noticed a big difference when I fired up Battlefield 3, plugged this thing in. Holy crap. And I generally kind of suck with a mouse and keyboard shooter. I noticed I was better using this mouse. I mean, it's just so responsive, and the aiming is just so precise because of that really high DPI rate, and just, oh man, that was something, I tell you what. And I also found it was great both on the gaming surface and, you know, I plugged it in my MacBook Pro, sat on my couch with it, just on the couch cushion. Those dual sensors, it does a really good job of it. It handles any terrain you put it on. And in fact, what really impressed me as well is when you lift up, you know, because inherently you'll be scrolling one way and you lift up to keep going that way. It was very smart about that. It knew what you were doing and knew not to give any sort of inadvertent inputs when you did that lift. It said, okay, I'm lifting up, I'm going to wait, set back down, and then keep going. That was really the best response I've ever seen from a mouse with that whole sort of lift up and move again action. I was very impressed with that. So you know, as far as all those technical things, just really impressive mouse. Now I got to get to the things I didn't like so much about it. Now, first off, it's the same size as the SteelSeries mice that I've reviewed, which means it's just massive. Now, I'm a fairly big guy, but I don't have the biggest hands. I don't have the longest fingers, and I kind of do a claw. It's sort of somewhere between a claw and a palm rest. And I found this thing to just be gargantuan and cumbersome. I very much prefer the size of like my Rat 7. I think that's just much more comfortable for me. So this thing was very, very huge. Also, the small buttons that are on the sides, I found them a little cumbersome, a little too small and too flush to be able to use in the middle of like a big firefight. Now, I had no problem using them in something like Civilization or Diablo, something that's not quite so just fast-paced, frenetic. But in Battlefield 3, I couldn't use them anymore. That really wasn't working for me. Oh yeah, so I guess that was the last of my notes on this. So overall, you know, not my favorite size, but I know a lot of people are really a fan of that sort of larger mouse. And the texture was really good. It's a hard casing, but it's got a little rubbery feel, so it definitely, you know, you can grip it really easy. It has Teflon on the bottom to help it just move crazy fast when you need to move crazy fast. So overall, I thought it was a really good mouse. A little too big for my hand size. Overall, I'm going to give it an A-. Now, here's the cool part. I'm going to give this thing away, all right? It's an $80 value, this mouse, and it's only been opened this once just for me to test it, play around with it, never taken it anywhere, put it right back in its original packaging, and I'm going to give it away to one lucky viewer. So how do you win this awesome, awesome mouse? Well, subscribe to my channel. Subscribe and comment on this video. And here's the thing, when I hit 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to pick one lucky subscriber. It doesn't matter if you were my first subscriber or my 1,000th. One of you will randomly be selected, and I'm going to mail this awesome new mouse to you. So once again, check it out. Here it is in the picture. It's part green, so it would turn up invisible and not look right if I actually held it in my hands right now, because that's a green screen. But there it is. One of you could win that really awesome mouse. A-. That's pretty good. If you got bigger hands than me, that thing should just be stellar for you. All right. Does it for this hardware fetish. Gonna move on into a little nerd TV. So I'm gonna do a little something different with this nerd TV part, and I'm just gonna do a let's play. All right. So I recently rented Spec Ops: The Line, cool new shooter that's come out for everything. All right. So here's a little bit of me playing Spec Ops: The Line on my PS3. Check it out.
Hey guys, this is Chris Arnone, the Bearded Gamer here, and as I said, I'm going to give you a little sneak peek of some Spec Ops: The Line on PS3 gameplay. So I've already been playing a bit of this, but for the sake of this little sample, I'm going to start off a new game. And we're going to go in what would be considered normal difficulty level with Combat Op. Now I've already got a video up on YouTube now where I play through, about the second half of Chapter 6 through the beginning of Chapter 9. But this here is the beginning of the game. Starts off with some real nice little set piece moments here. in a chopper with a big old gun. Okay, I got that one. Do get a little bit of zoom, which helps with aiming. Lay into the buildings too, which is get a nice destructive effect. I got that one. Woo! Wow. Pretty fun little set piece moment there. Yeah, that's who's shooting at me, okay.
Doesn't matter! Just keep it steady!
I don't know if you can actually die in this part. Woo. Big boom. Got that one too.
And take us in! Into the storm? Guess we'll find out!
Come on. Woo! Ooh, big sandstorm. Oh, that's not gonna end well. It's kind of weird. It uses L1 to aim and R1 to fire. It doesn't give you an option for L2 aim, R2 fire, which is kind of what I'm more used to with the triggers. But so be it.
Is John
now,
Conrad the greatest man I ever served with?
Your daily dose of Nolan
I
North.
don't know. There was this one time in Kabul when he dragged my bleeding carcass half a mile to an evac chopper. So maybe I'm biased. But the facts don't lie. The man's a fucking hero. Remember when the first storms hit Dubai? You're probably all safe and sound at home watching TV. Well, Conrad was leading the damn 33rd out of Afghanistan. Instead of coming home, he volunteered his entire battalion to help with the evac. But all you did was send a check. Rumor is Conrad was ordered to abandon the city. He defied that order, and the 33rd stood with him. Now the official story is still hazy about what happened next. All we know for sure is that the storms got worse. Much worse. Last thing we heard out of Dubai was that Conrad was leading a caravan of survivors out of the city. That was 6 months ago. Then, 2 weeks ago, we picked up this transmission.
This is Colonel John Conrad, United States Army. Has evacuation in Dubai ended in complete failure. Death toll, too many.
Hey, Cap! Captain Walker!
I'm still not sure if
Got a situation, sir.
the extensive use of sand
No,
is
sir.
genius
Then take it up the chain, Sergeant.
or lazy graphically.
Lieutenant Adams!
I hear you, Sergeant. What's your status?
Status is chafed, sir.
You say chafe, Sergeant?
Yes, sir. A local airborne insurgency has infiltrated the U.S. zone designated as my pants. Sir.
Shut up, jackass.
Gentlemen, welcome to Dubai.
Yep. It's still dead.
Yet to be seen, Sergeant.
You got a lock on that transmission?
Yes, sir. About 800 yards away.
And we're 800 yards away from seeing who's more full of shit. You or Intel?
Wow. If I wasn't a hardened killing machine, that might have hurt.
Now, I wish the sense of humor had continued a little bit, but then again, I guess that would have turned it to Battlefield Bad Company. Ha! Special guest Captain Havoc. I never noticed that. That's me. I guess it inserts your
this place has been designated a no man's land.
PSN
We're
ID.
not supposed to be here, so let's do this by the books, okay?
Roger, Dodger.
Okay, grab some cover. Now check your sights. Any movement?
Nah, we're clear.
Good.
A little target practice if we want to. Oh, maybe there's a trophy for that.
Okay, gotta re-up.
What happens in Dubai stays in Dubai.
Come on, let's just find a way down.
You can tell they're trying to be impressive, but I've seen much more impressive things in other games. So it's just really not doing it for me. Vault, dang it.
So this is what's left of the damn 33rd.
Command thinks otherwise. We wouldn't be here.
Hey, got some rope over here.
Let's put it to use.
Whee!
That's enough, Lugo.
See,
Just keeping it light, boss.
I think the
Yeah, I don't need light. Need you focused.
I've seen it
on
have
the mission.
texture loading issues, but I tell
What
you,
mission? We're basically
the
poking
textures
the
on the
dog with
people
a
in
stick.
specific, I think is just
We
poor.
have our orders. Locate survivors, leave the city immediately. Radio command from outside the storm wall. Send in the cavalry, and go home.
Hey, did you guys
And
see
the
that?
game as a whole, I mean, it doesn't even hold a candle to Call of Duty, let alone something as gorgeous as like Battlefield 3.
Ain't nobody here, man.
Or if we're talking, third-person shooters, it's nowhere near as good as, say,
Come on, let's just get this
Uncharted. Talking about another great Nolan North game.
Hey, anyone out there? Soccer says what?
over. Leave it alone. No one's out there.
Then what the fuck are we doing here?
Lugo's got a point.
Oh, you
Yeah.
taking his side now?
When he's right, he's right.
Always annoys me a
He
bit
wants us to look around or look around.
I don't know. Sounds like a waste of
when the
three
game wants you to walk
stone-cold,
slow,
ruggedly handsome Delta
just because you're
operators
supposed to be
such as
paying
yourself.
attention to
Think of
what's
it as
going
a
on.
paid vacation.
Well, for future reference, I prefer my beaches with a 3-to-1 sexy lady dead body ratio.
Lugo, do you ever actually hear the shit coming out of your mouth?
No, I do not, sir. I find it messes with my rhythm.
Huh, crouch.
You know, it does feel like we're being
Played through most of the game and I never used that other than that once. I don't know what that says.
This looks like the place.
Attempted
Yep, this is
evacuation
what we're looking
by
for.
ended
Whatever it is.
incomplete.
What's that supposed to mean?
It's a distress beacon, but it ain't military. Someone built this out of spare parts.
Any idea who?
No, not a fucking clue.
Whole lot of action, huh?
Damn it. Walker, you better come see this.